Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode of SpongeBob Now. Today, I will be talking about a flea in her dome, the donut of shame, and the Krusty plate. First, I'm going to talk about a flea in her dome. Enjoy. In the beginning of the episode, SpongeBob and Patrick are crying, because Sandy has gone to Texas for 2 whole days. They decide to take the time until she comes home to prepare for and throw her a welcome home party. During their party, SpongeBob and Patrick notice that Sandy is scratching and biting her fur. Sandy explains that upon her return from a science convention in Texas, she unknowingly brought back a flea. Sandy asks SpongeBob to open her briefcase and take out the flea collar. The flea jumps out of her fur and lands on SpongeBob. SpongeBob gets bitten and grabs the collar. The flea then lands on Patrick and bites him, causing Patrick to take the collar. They then fight over the collar, which causes Sandy to grab the collar and wrap it around all 3 of them. The flea then reproduces, causing the flea collar to be eaten away, rendering it useless. Fleas take over Sandy's tree dome, and no one can escape the dome. Patrick blames Sandy for bringing the flea and getting infected, then SpongeBob blames for throwing the party, which causes SpongeBob and Patrick to fight. Sandy breaks up the fight and tells them that arguing is not going to help save themselves as long as they work together. Patrick comes up with the idea of creating a tower to the tree, only to climb up and get an apple. Sandy is annoyed at Patrick's stupidity and the group takes refuge in the tree. But it proves to be useless as the fleas continue to spread all over the tree dome. SpongeBob states they may be living in a sea of fleas instead of salt water, thus giving Sandy an idea on how to get rid of the fleas. Sandy then crashes into the cauldron with fleas by infecting all their space in the dome with saltwater. This drowns and gets rid of the fleas, but all the Bikini Bottom citizens are stuck in the dome at the end. SpongeBob tells Sandy it's good to have her back, as the episode ends. Next, I'm going to talk about the donut of shame. Enjoy. The episode starts off with the morning after SpongeBob's tea party. Patrick wakes up and remembers the tea party. He says that he must have passed out in SpongeBob's kitchen on the ceiling. The screen zooms out and flips upside down and Patrick falls back onto the floor. He remembers that the party lasted after 8:30 p.m. and says things get crazy then. That was kind of proved when a flashback of the tea party they were both in at 8:35 p.m. that night. He looks around for SpongeBob and finds him in the living room with a donut in his hand. Since SpongeBob has also passed out, Patrick takes the donut. When he arrives home, he wants to eat it, but just before he does, he needs fine china for the donut. He reaches his cupboard and nearly all of his plates break. Patrick uses the one that didn't break. He was going to eat it, but then he remembers SpongeBob saying, "This kind of donut can really make a guy happy." Quote. He then thinks he has stolen SpongeBob's donut. 2 angel and devil donuts appear beside him. The angel donut tells him not to eat because SpongeBob is his friend, while the devil donut tells him not to trust the angel donut because he has sprinkles. Patrick doesn't know who to trust, so the devil donut gives him an idea by attaching a chain to it and saying that he can pull it out when SpongeBob wants it back. The angel donut admits that it is actually quite a good idea, and the donuts disappear. Patrick tests out his method, but when he pulls the chain, the donut does not come out with it. Panicking, he quickly coughs it back up. His phone then rings. It is SpongeBob on the other line, who says that he will be right over to Patrick's house with a tape of the night before. Patrick realizes that the tape will show him taking SpongeBob's donut, so he runs around his house, trying to hide it. He tries under a rug, but he thinks that SpongeBob might step on it. He hides it in the toaster, but he worries that SpongeBob will want to make toast. He thinks of hiding it in the toilet, but he thinks that SpongeBob might want to use it. He then tries his attic, but halfway up the stairs, he remembers he doesn't have one, and falls because there are no stairs either. He then forgets what just happened and tries the attic again, but simply falls once more. SpongeBob finally arrives, and Patrick quickly hides the donut in the back of his pants. SpongeBob presents the videotape and prepares to watch it. Thinking the jig is up, Patrick breaks down crying and admits to taking the donut, but SpongeBob defends him and states that it was okay for him to do so. He shows Patrick the tape that shows him giving the donut to him as a present. A confused Patrick realizes the donut is his as SpongeBob tells him that the party was for his birthday. Patrick then recalls his birthday party and pulls the donut, now expired, from his pants, splits it in half, and asks SpongeBob if he wants to share. As the episode ends, SpongeBob accepts as he eats the half donut, only to make him sick as Patrick says, "Pretty good, huh?" Next, I'm going to talk about the Krusty plate. Enjoy. Mr. Krabs is closing the Krusty Krab, stating that he thought those deadbeats would never leave. Meanwhile, SpongeBob is in the kitchen and finishes washing the dishes. However, Mr. Krabs comes in and finds a dirty spot on a plate. He shows this to SpongeBob and states that he can't leave until he gets the spot removed. Mr. Krabs then tells SpongeBob to lock up when he's done. SpongeBob then reminds Mr. Krabs that the last time he was left alone at work, the Krusty Krab was set on fire due to an incident with a lit blowtorch and Mr. Krabs' roller skates. Mr. Krabs assures SpongeBob that he removed all welding equipment from the premises, so there is thus no chance of a fire happening again. Afterwards, SpongeBob tries scrubbing the spot off the plate, but that doesn't work, so he decides to declare war. First, SpongeBob uses a jackhammer, but then falls over and the jackhammer repeatedly smacks him in the face. Secondly, he tries repeatedly banging a bat on the plate, which fails. Thirdly, he uses a chainsaw and repeatedly bangs on the plate, which doesn't work either. Once SpongeBob is out of breath, he gets a tank and shoots a pink sponge on the plate. Since that fails, SpongeBob spits on it, and the spot still doesn't come off and instead slightly increases the size. After this, a determined SpongeBob states, "I got to finish this." SpongeBob soon comes back, dressed in an army outfit and introduces the dirty spot to the Spot Master 6000. He first shows the spot the microwave-powered laser particle beam. Then, he shows it the laser-guided high-pressure water cannon. Finally, SpongeBob shows the spot a specially woven metal alloy ingeniously combined with state-of-the-art cleaning materials. He calls it steel wool, and it comes with a laser. SpongeBob asks the spot, "Any last words?" After hearing nothing from the plate, SpongeBob starts up Spot Master 6000 and turns on the particle beam and the water cannon. Since it's not working, he turns on the steel wool laser. While this is happening, the Krusty Krab shakes, lights are shining out of it, and Mr. Krabs can see it from his house while in bed. Mr. Krabs looks through his window, and he doesn't worry because he assumes it has nothing to do with SpongeBob. Meanwhile, SpongeBob is still trying to get the spot off and then crosses the laser beams. He declares, "More power." While this happens, the Krusty Krab sends out sound-like waves through the air, causing everything to look like it's wiggling. Mr. Krabs checks out of his window again and decides to go see how SpongeBob is doing. When near the Krusty Krab, he finds unusual activity within the restaurant. As Mr. Krabs gets his key out, SpongeBob uses maximum power on the spot. Once Krabs opens the door, a huge blast wrecks the restaurant and a bursting size of an atomic bomb. Once the explosion is over, the restaurant is completely destroyed and then the Spot Master 6000 disintegrates. SpongeBob looks at the plate and notices the spot finally came off. However, Mr. Krabs no longer cares about the plate since his restaurant is demolished, and angrily chases SpongeBob around the ruins, as the episode ends. We're halfway done with Season 5. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Goodbye everyone.